Oh my gosh, this is so terrible.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst movies of 2021. For this list, we'll be looking at movies released this past year that had us either asking the box office for our money back or asking streaming services for our time back. What do you think is the worst movie of 2021? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Home Sweet Home Alone.
We are doing this.
We are doing it. We'll be in and out before you know.
Not going well.
Can we please leave the Home Alone franchise alone already? The original is a Christmas classic. Whether you think Home Alone 2 is the same old thing or a misunderstood gem, it's better than everything that followed.
Oops.
As awful as the subsequent 3 sequels were, they at least understood one thing. We're supposed to root for the kid and against the home invaders. In this Disney reboot, Ellie Kemper and Rob Delaney's characters are oddly empathetic, while Archie Yates's Max is a little jerk from start to finish.
Orange stripe, center pocket.
No.
Ooh, that did not sound right.
So even as far as soulless retreads go, this film couldn't retread properly.
Oh, this is garbage. I don't know why they were always trying to remake the classics. Never as good as the originals.
Wasting its talented cast and a popular IP, they should have just made Stoned Alone with Ryan Reynolds. Whatever happened with that project anyway?
Marijuana? But why?
Number 9. The Misfits.
Oh my God, here we go again. If this weren't so amusing, it would be sad.
To anyone who thinks the Fast and Furious movies are mindless action escapades, we give you The Misfits. This is what a Fast and Furious flick would be like without any innovative action or appealing characters. You wouldn't guess this based on the cast, which includes Jamie Chung, Tim Roth, and Pierce Brosnan, a former James Bond for crying out loud. At least Brosnan looks like he's having fun, but the same can't be said about the audience. We're stuck sitting through painful one-liners such as,
"You see, I don't date men. I kill them."
the plot, meanwhile recycles from every other heist movie ever made without an ounce of self-aware charm. The characters want to be modern Robin Hoods, but the Misfits robs from richer storylines and gives nothing to us poor suckers.
What the hell you still doing here?
Hopefully, fixing things.
Number 8. Voyagers. Remember in the early 2010s when every studio was trying to cash in on the young adult craze? Well, even if Voyagers wasn't at least 7 years too late, it still would have tasted stale.
I want to be honest with them. About everything. Otherwise, they'll lose faith in me.
The idea of Lord of the Flies in space sounds promising, but Voyagers is devoid of any interesting characters, visuals, or twists. The promising cast of up-and-comers, which includes Ty Sheridan and Lily Rose Depp, do what they can with one-note roles.
We didn't ask to be here. Nobody chooses what they're born into.
Director Neil Burger has made some good films like The Illusionist, but the studio clearly just wanted him to replicate the success of the first Divergent. Where the Divergent franchise at least made it to 3 movies, we can't imagine Voyagers even getting a straight-to-video sequel with half the budget.
So Richard lied to you.
The mission lies.
What else are they telling us?
Number 7. Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Hold up, Doc. So, you want me, a talking cartoon bunny, to play with you, an NBA superstar, in a high-stakes basketball game? Sounds awfully familiar.
Who are you talking to? But yeah, that actually sums it up well.
We're not sure what happened between LeBron James's memorable turn in Trainwreck and this cinematic Trainwreck, but he obviously didn't spend a semester at Juilliard.
I mean, I don't even know if I'm saying this right.
The Looney Tunes aren't able to compensate for James's shortcomings as they get lost in a sea of product placement and references, half of which feel like they were written in 1999. To be fair, there are some genuinely fun cameos, when you can see what's going on. The movie's second half is so crowded and poorly lit that most of the time it's hard to make out all the little details. After the spectacle of Ready Player One ends the unexpected heart of the Lego Movie, an IP-packed Space Jam sequel could have worked, but the results were le pew.
Ouch.
Yikes.
Number 6. The Woman in the Window. With Amy Adams starring, Joe Wright directing, and the plot echoing Rear Window, this psychological thriller initially sounded like a potential Oscar contender. Between the negative test screenings, re-editing, and getting sold to Netflix, though, we knew something was wrong. Still, we didn't think it would be this wrong.
Oh, wow. Okay, subject change. I think I hurt my neck.
While Adams and Julianne Moore naturally turn in solid performances, many of the actors behave as if they're from another planet. Maybe that was the idea, but it comes off as unintentionally hilarious.
I knew exactly what you would like. Is that a talent or a skill?
Although we're trying to save you 100 minutes, we won't give away the twist ending. However, we will say that this melodramatic mystery could have been quickly solved if the authorities put any effort into their job, making the explanation feel cheap and unearned.
The important thing is that everybody's okay, yeah?
Number 5. Thunder Force.
Let's do this. It's go time.
You can usually tell if a Melissa McCarthy movie is going to work based on its director. If anyone other than Ben Falcone is behind the camera, there's real potential. If Falcone is helming the project, prepare to laugh maybe once every 20 minutes, give or take.
You look like balls.
Sorry, I'll get some cream or something.
A lot of it. Get a lot.
Don't get us wrong. We love Falcone and McCarthy as a real-life couple and co-stars. For whatever reason, though, things never click when Falcone directs McCarthy. Thunder Force is no exception, adding virtually nothing to the superhero satire or buddy picture formulas. Well, except for casting Jason Bateman as a henchman with crab arms. That's inspired. Otherwise, the film is sadly another step backwards for McCarthy, who drags Octavia Spencer down with her.
Maybe if we don't look at her, she'll stop.
I think we're past that point.
Number 4. Vanquish.
Let's get you suited up, shall we?
In this face-palmingly awful action thriller, Ruby Rose's Victoria is forced out of retirement when Morgan Freeman's Damon takes her daughter hostage. Here's the thing, though. Damon keeps her daughter in his house, which Victoria has access to. So instead of going on a wild goose chase laced with death, why doesn't Victoria ever think to just search every room and take her daughter back? Perhaps we could forgive this baffling plot hole if the performances were charismatic and the action wowed. Alas, Victoria is a below-average action heroine, and you'd never guess Freeman is an Oscar winner based on his uninvested work here.
Almost done. One more stop.
Visually, it's an ugly movie with nonsensical editing choices and cinematography draped in putrid colors, desperately attempting to stand out.
What the hell was that?
Number 3. Chaos Walking.
Whoa! Stop! Don't come any closer.
Even after numerous delays and reshoots, we held on to hope that Tom Holland, Daisy Ridley, and Doug Liman might be able to salvage this adaptation of Patrick Ness's acclaimed novel. Unfortunately, the experience of sitting through this hollow dystopian film is indeed chaos.
I consider that a compliment.
It's not.
In all fairness, this source material isn't easy to adapt. The premise centers on a world where everyone sees and hears each other's thoughts.
That problem, boys?
No problem.
While this idea is well suited for literature, it doesn't necessarily translate to a visual medium. Cinema is about showing rather than telling, but Chaos Walking is constantly telling, even when it doesn't need to.
That must be overwhelming.
Lionsgate executives reportedly deemed the movie's first cut unreleasable. We're still wrapping our brains around the notion that an even worse version might exist. Number 2. Cosmic Sin.
Mr. James Ford, ruining another Friday night for all.
You know Fifth Element? That one-of-a-kind sci-fi film with a charismatic performance from Bruce Willis?
Not really.
Cosmic Sin is the bizarro version with no style whatsoever and Willis sleepwalking through his performance. Or maybe squint walking is more accurate, as he barely opens his eyes here.
If I do this, you're gonna restore my rank and my pension.
May I ask you a question? You really think you got what it takes to get this job done?
Everything about this production feels bored and half-assed. None of the characters have identities, not a single visual is unique, and there's barely any action. Even the opening text looks like something thrown together on iMovie. We know that's a nitpick, but when the audience is more focused on the font than the characters or story, you know something's seriously off. You might even call it a cosmic sin.
We didn't know whether to burn it or put it in a museum.
Sure they said the same thing about me.
With 3% on Rotten Tomatoes, we think critics were too kind.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Music. If you want to make a movie about the autism experience, more power to you. If you want to make a musical based on Sia's songs, sure, that could be fun. Why in the world would you combine these two ideas together, though?
We live for the beat, baby, you're all I need. Baby, you're all I need. Oh.
Sia's colorful direction and peppy music doesn't at all go with the film's serious subject matter, which also tries to tackle drugs, death, and divorce. Granted, musicals like Rent balance serious issues with uplifting music, but that musical understood the subjects at its core. Music has no real understanding of autism, coming off as emotionally manipulative and kind of infuriating. We're sure the filmmakers meant well, but music deserves all 3 of its Razzies, including Worst Supporting Actress, and Director.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.